Hello everyone, in this video I would like to talk about the Brett Cooper lore, because some new information has dropped in the form of I watched the second video on this topic from Sydney Watson. I highly recommend you go watch it, and I would like to weigh in to give my opinion on said topic because I find it interesting, and also because I was at one point quite invested in the comment section with Brett Cooper because it was a very fun experience. I enjoyed watching, Brett Cooper. I think she's a very wonderful person. She's very animated and a very lovely individual. Now, the way I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna give you just a little bit of background as what happened. So, if you do not know, there's this media company, news media company actually, which is named The Daily Wire. Now, Brett Cooper was a host at The Daily Wire and was basically the host of the comment section with, you guessed it, Brett Cooper, which was, I think I'm right when I'm saying, a very successful channel, right? She was very lovely. She is a conservative, and the whole Daily Wire is basically a news media outlet that is focused on the conservative movement, I guess. So basically what's happened is that after a long run and a very happy run with Brett Cooper as the host of the channel, the face of the channel, right? Well, something has happened inside the Daily Wire, and unfortunately Brett Cooper decided to, well, they say live amicably. Is that how you pronounce that word? Not really amicably. Let's bust out the Google Translate. Amicably.
Amicably.
Amicably? Amicably. Amicably? Amicably. Well, hopefully I said that right. So, they said that Brett decided to live amicably and on her own terms, and that she basically elected for her best friend and manager at the time, Reagan, to step up and be the new host. However, you do not need two brain cells to realize that what they've said is a little bit deceiving, because if you're someone that was watching regularly the comment section with Brett Cooper, you'd realize quite quick that, as I said, Brett Cooper is a very lively and animated girl. Now, in the video where she decided to leave, which was very abruptly, and the title of the video was so corporate and so distasteful, in my opinion. I mean, when you're making a video basically saying that you are going to leave the channel that basically, let's be honest, Brett Cooper I think did most of the work to grow that channel. I'm sure there have been a lot of editors, cameramen, sound guys, Reagan being the manager or whatever, but let's be honest, it's the face of the show that basically does the talking and brings everyone in. I mean, let's be honest. Now, as I said, you don't need two brain cells to realize that if Brett is such a lively and very happy individual, very animated, very girly, you kind of realize right there on the spot when that video came up that she was not happy about it. She was not happy to leave. It was not a very, I guess, amicable handoff, from basically Brett giving the lead to Reagan to steer the comment section channel. It was very abrupt, and so people have been speculating that Reagan has been taking acting classes, which is something that I don't necessarily believe she was taking acting classes, because one of her cousins, well, actually her cousin, I don't know how many cousins she has, I don't know why I word it like that, but it doesn't matter. Her cousin said, well, of course she's gonna have some of Brett's mannerism, the way she speaks, the way she animates herself, I guess, because they're best friends. Now, I will be weighing in with my own opinion on this comment, I guess, that she made, which is yes and no. I mean, we all have friends, right? We all have best friends. And when you have a best friend, yes, you are going to somewhat imitate that individual. But let's take me, for example. I am someone who talks, well, right now, because I don't know what's happening. Whenever I'm talking into a microphone, alone by myself in a room looking like an idiot, I cannot talk fast. But in real life, I'm able to talk fast with my friends, right? But most of the times I stumble and I mispronounce words because I don't know why I'm in such a hurry to talk with an individual that is willing to listen to me. So, where I'm trying to go with this is basically the fact that with Brett, if you've watched the channel, you can see the fact that it's very natural coming from her, right? Being so animated, being so gesture happy with her hands, with her body language and stuff like that. It comes natural, right? It does not come, I guess, in a very forced way, right? It's natural of her. But when you watch Reagan and you add, the fact that she has a channel, and on that channel you can see that she's not necessarily someone that is kind of lifeless, but she's not that animated really.
Round 1, fight!
Try to find rib cage Levi's, like the ones that are currently sold in stores. That will be the style that I think you'll like the best if you're going for the really, really high-waisted. But the 501s are kind of like a good mid-range.
Fantastic question. Fantastic question. I don't know either. But as you can see by their march, that haggard old angry energy doesn't really carry the same vigor throughout the years.
You can argue that, well, people, tend to change as they grow up. Again, yes, but to basically see her transition from someone who is not that animated, speaks very softly, to someone who basically just is a Brett Cooper copy, yeah, that's gonna send a lot of red flags down the line, right? I mean, it's not just me. I can see it very clearly that she's basically just not necessarily copying Brett because she wants to, but because Brett basically built the comment section with, you guessed it, Brett Cooper. She kind of needs to do that, and the Daily Wire kind of needs to ask Reagan to do that because that's kind of the legacy of the channel, the little girly girl, very animated, conservative, funny comments and whatever, right? But to me, the argument that, hey, they're best friends, they're gonna talk like that, no. I'm sorry, but no. That's just so far-fetched to me. I mean, I can look at myself and I can tell you 100% that yes, I've had a lot of best friends, and there have been many cases in where I find myself imitating them, but not to the fullest extent, right? I still put my my spicy stamp of personality on the imitation of my best friend. Christ, my voice was going to oblivion. So yeah, I don't think she's taking classes, speaking about Reagan right now. And I do think that, I guess, the new manager, the Daily Wire, I guess, leaders, Jeremy Boring or whatever his name is kind of asking Reagan to basically not necessarily imitate, but try and be a copy of Brett Cooper, which is basically imitating. But yeah, I don't think she has taken classes, but it's really annoying to see that they're basically doing what BBC did with Top Gear, Brett Cooper is kind of like the old cast of Top Gear, Richard Hammond, Jeremy Clarkson, and James, the Captain Slow May. Okay, you cannot replicate the absolute legends, which are, the trio and Brett Cooper, you just cannot replicate it, right? Sydney Watson actually made a very good comment about it, which is, if you decided to end, Brett's, I guess, contract, and you wanted to keep this thing going, with a girly girl, very animated, her own channel, conservative, whatever, to keep it, I guess, true to your political agenda, just start a new channel, right? Because if you're trying to, I guess, resuscitate that which is, quite frankly, at the end of its lifespan, because there is no comment section with Brett Cooper. It's a very good thing that she's made another channel, but unfortunately, because of NDAs and stuff like that, it might be quite a bit until we see, I guess, Brett Cooper making her own content. Which prompts me into the next thing, which is something that also, was said in the Sydney Watson video, which she said is the fact that there's some kind of contracts which basically do not allow you to, I guess, start your own company that would compete with, I guess, the place that is hiring you, in this case Daily Wire. So basically, what I personally think is that Brett was not necessarily unhappy with her position, but maybe there's been some mismanagement involved. And as all creators do, at one point you're gonna want to do your thing, you're gonna want to start your own, not necessarily business, but I don't know, make something of yourself. Now, another thing that people speculate on is the fact that Reagan backstabbed Brett and became the new face of the channel, which is, I think it's very unlikely, right? It's just something that I can't really see. I can't really see it happening because I don't think Brett did anything to warrant that. I don't think Reagan would be incentivized to do that. The Daily Wire should have realized, even a little bit, that if this would actually be the case, the hate that they would receive would be unimaginable. So yeah, Reagan being a backstabber and, taking Brett's place is unlikely. The fact that, Jeremy Boring and her cousin said, oh, they're annoyed at the fact that Brett did not say anything because Brett actually, I guess, elected Reagan to be, the next face of the channel, which I think in some interview or somewhere she stated that no, it was not her words. And also, these are allegations, but some of them are true. I do not know which, but I'm just gonna say these are allegations to protect myself. Another thing that was said was the fact that Brett was greedy and wanted more money, which is, again, very unlikely. I suggest you go watch the Sydney Watson video. There is actually a live stream of Brett Cooper talk about, her situation and her working at the Daily Wire and how happy she is that, they've actually given her quite a big raise and she did not expect that. Again, this is from the Sydney Watson video. The next thing that I want to talk about is basically the CEO of Daily Wire, which is Jeremy Boring, I think. And that guy is a little slimy, first of all, because he's very sad that Brett did not step up to talk about the fact that she allegedly elected Reagan to be the next face of the channel. Unlikely, as I said. There must be an NDA in place forbidding Brett from talking about this, which is even slimier, because that would imply that the CEO of Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, would actually know about this and might actually be exploiting this, little fact. And also the fact that Reagan's cousin, who made the TikTok video saying that, oh, she's annoyed at the fact that people say she took acting classes, but, her and Brett Cooper are actually good friends, and that might be the reason as to why they are acting similarly on camera, even though, as I said before, coming from Reagan seems forced. Coming from Brett, it seems natural because, as I said, I've watched her for about 6 or 8 months and I've gotten accustomed to her, I guess, body language, the way she speaks, the way she carries herself out. It seemed 100% natural, okay? But with Reagan, again, I did not watch a lot. I watched a few videos. It just seems like a cheap knockoff of the comment section with Brett Cooper, which is something that I don't like, and I'm sure a lot of fans do not like. So basically, he copied what Reagan's cousin said in her TikTok video that is now deleted, and he put that in his clearing up the fog video, which is, as I said before, slimy. Now, with all this being said, I have to admit that I have recorded for about maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and I realized, man, I'm really good at taking a topic that is worth talking about for, let's say, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and making it 10 minutes worth of nonsense talking and derailing and whatever. So the bottom line is this. What happened with Brett Cooper is now, in my opinion, allegedly, again, protecting myself, it's foul play, okay? I don't think Reagan should get hated on. I think she made a really bad decision to actually replacing Brett Cooper, as I said before, with the legends, the trio, the Hamster, Jezza, and Captain Slow. Well, you can't replace legends like these ones, especially Brett. So yeah, that's basically the whole story. I don't think Reagan should get hated. I don't really like Jeremy Boring, if all of these allegations are true, and the way he made that video and the way he talked about it, yeah, kind of speaks the truth, for me at least. I don't know about you. One other thing that I was going to talk about, and I'm just going to mention briefly, was the fact that I think every single news media outlet, no matter the platform that they express themselves, they're all trying the same thing, which is brainwashing, let's be honest. I read a KGB related article which said that it does not take long to brainwash someone. And the more I read the article, right, and the more I thought about news media outlets just in general, the similar it got. And Yeah, it's mainly because they always pick a side, a political side, and they just roll with it, even though I think all political spectrums, all political sides, whatever, left or right, they all make mistakes. And because of news media outlets that are so ruthless, well, it makes everything so much worse in the end. I just hope that this video was somewhat useful for you to try and formulate an opinion, right? I also wanted to talk about this stupid drama. Very unfortunate, but once again, Brett Cooper has made another channel. I really hope she's gonna post real soon. Please go watch the Sydney Watson video because it was so good. Maybe even better than her tea. Controversial. Maybe. I don't know. I never tasted it. I don't know if I can buy it here in the Balkans. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Again, go subscribe to Brett Cooper. Go watch Sydney Watson and then subscribe. Buy her fume thingy. I don't know. Seems good, especially if you smoke. So you can stop smoking. It's not good for you, okay? And buy her tea. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I wish you a good morning, good day, good night, whatever it is. I really hope it's good. Goodbye.